Kindly subscribe to YouTube channel and follow on Facebook page at Dr. Zabby's Talk Show.
Mo kí wa pé a kú bójú ọjọ́ ṣe rí níbikíbi tí ẹ bá ti ṣe alábàápàdé lórí ètò wa. Èmi ọmọ yín náà ni olólùfẹ́ yín Dr. Zabby Talk Show. Ayé ọpẹ́ yọ ṣe ọlọ́dọ̀ títí yín náà ní agbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ayé ọpẹ́ yọ fún wa lórí ọmọ, lórí ìdáwọ́lé wa. Òun láyé ọpẹ́ ló máa fi máa yọ fún wa. Èwo la mú wá fún wa lọ́jọ́ títí òní, gẹ́gẹ́ bí mo ṣe máa ń sọ wípé ká sáré ṣe àgbéyẹ̀wò ẹ̀ láì má gbára wa ní àkókò bó ṣe lè wù kó mọ. Mo kí gbogbo ẹ̀yin tí ẹ máa ń bá wa pín ètò wa. Mo tiẹ̀ kí ẹ̀yin tó jẹ́ wípé ẹ̀ tí mọ̀ nǹkan tá fẹ́ sọ, ẹ ti tẹ like. Mo dúpẹ́, mo mọ̀ lórí, God bless you. Ẹ̀yin tó bá jẹ́ nígbà àkọ́kọ́ náà, mo kí yín káàbọ̀ sórí ètò níbi tá a ti máa ń gbé oríṣiríṣi ètò yẹ̀ wò. Bẹ́ẹ̀ náà dẹ̀ la tún ní ìkànnì míì tá à ń pè ní Àjùlọ TV. Nǹkan míì òun là ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí ń bẹ̀. Tí bíbá yìí náà tọ̀, a fẹ́ jẹ́ kí ọmọ dàpọ̀ má ṣe ni. A dẹ̀ tún fẹ́ fìyẹn náà ṣe kó jẹ́ alátìlẹyìn fún eléyìí gẹ́gẹ́ bí iṣẹ́ àwọn YouTube. Ṣé mọ̀ pé wọ́n kàn lè ṣàdédé sọ wípé o play kinní kan, o ṣe kinní kan 2 weeks, 1 week, oṣù kan, but a dúpẹ́ lọ́dọ̀ Ọlọ́run. Ìyẹn la ṣe níyẹn lọ́tọ̀. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ti bá wa subscribe lórí Àjùlọ TV, ẹ máa wò wá kétékété ń bẹ̀ náà ni. Ẹ bá wa lọ subscribe lórí Àjùlọ TV. God bless you. Èwo la fẹ́ mú wá fún wa lọ́jọ́ títí òní pé ká ṣàgbéyẹ̀wò ẹ̀ ní wípé a ṣì wà lójú ọ̀nà. Ojú ọ̀nà òun la ṣe kí ni, òun la wà. Ọlọ́run ò ní jẹ́ ká rógun ìfàsẹ́yìn. Nǹkan tá a máa fi rí wípé àwọn tá a fẹ́ lọ bá, tá a fẹ́ lọ gbé blueprint lọ bá. Blueprint tá a gbé wá leléyìí o. Ẹ jẹ́ a lọ fún regional o. Ẹ jẹ́ a lọ fún restructuring o. Àwọn ẹni yìí orí odindi èèyàn náà fi mu omi láràárọ̀. Wọ́n ti ya ọ̀dájú ju gbogbo ibi tí àwa lérò lédè yẹn. Tí a bá kò sí bá ṣe lè sọ pé a smart. Àwọn people yìí ń sọ, wọ́n ní born to rule ni àwọn. Òyìnbó tó dẹ̀ sọ pé àwọn yọ̀ǹda wa nínú oko ẹrú, wọ́n yọ̀ǹda wa tán o. Màá lọ mú ẹ̀rí, màá lọ gbé ẹ̀rí wá fún yín sí. Bó jẹ́ kí n kọ́kọ́ gba bíbá ìwọlé náà. No going back ní sẹ́ ìgbà wo ló máa jẹ́ àmọ́. Bò kẹ́kọ̀ọ́ lè fi ọkàn má balẹ̀. Tí gbogbo wa lè fọkàn má balẹ̀ wípé a wà lójú ọ̀nà ni. Rome is not built in a day. Wọ́n ní ẹni tó bá máa gbéṣù jẹun, ṣíbí ẹ máa gùn gan ni. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká mí kàn. Ó ń ṣọmọ olókù bẹ́ẹ̀ ni, a lè sí pẹ̀lú òkú ẹ̀. Kí ló ń ṣe? Kinní kan wo ló ń ṣe? Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí ò ń ṣe àwọn tó ń ṣe táyà, tó ń yọ táyà nínú táyà mọ́tò. Ṣé mọ̀ pé tí ò bá ṣiṣẹ́, tí táyà ẹ bá jò, tí ò bá ṣiṣẹ́, tó bá jókòó síbẹ̀, wọ́n mọ̀ pé kí lẹ wá ń ṣe látẹ̀kan, ẹ̀ ṣe nǹkan kan. No. Ọ̀rọ̀ yìí dàbí ìwọ tó fẹ́ kọ novel. Wàá jókòó, o máa ronú, o máa ṣiṣẹ́, o máa lo ọpọlọ, o máa lo owó, tó bá tó wá fẹ́ tà, o máa mọ̀yàn, o máa ṣe oríṣiríṣi. Ṣóyẹ́nsìn, ìyẹn lè máa fi mọ̀ wípé ọ̀rọ̀ wípé a fẹ́ kúrò láàárín àwọn ajẹgúdújẹrá kò ń ṣe nǹkan tó easy. It's not easy. Kò ń ṣe nǹkan tó easy bó ṣe lè hùn kó mọ́. Bọ́ lóhun tí láti gba ìtúsílẹ̀, ẹ má jẹ́ ká tú mi kàn. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí mẹ́dọ̀. Ìjẹ̀bú ìsọ̀wà, Ìjẹ̀bú ẹ lọ sí mẹ́dọ̀. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe sùúrù. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fi ẹ̀kọ́ gbóná. Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fi ìkánjú lábẹ́ gbóná. Ṣé ń sọ dáadáa? Ẹ yé mi nílé. Ṣé ń sọ re? Ẹ má jẹ́ ká fi ìkánjú lábẹ́ gbóná. Dídán ohun ètúndé kọ́ fọ́wọ́n tún ti dé. Ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe sùúrù. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tọ́ ojú kan náà kó lè wò ó lójú kan. Ká má máa tọ̀ kélékélé. ẹni ìbáfọ̀ máa mẹ́ni kúrò lórí ìrìn àjò ra wà ní kó fọ́ ń dá 6 months wọn èmi lè lò tó gbára ẹ̀wẹ̀ lò yẹn mi ò lè lò tó gbà tẹ̀yìn lò yẹn tó bá ti dẹ̀yìn 6 months tí mi ò bá gbà fún yín fámìlì mi relé ìran mi relé nǹkan tó bá wù yín ní kẹ́ fi ṣe tí ò bá sì yẹ ń bẹ̀ ẹ wo it is well ẹ jẹ́ a bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti bí báyìí náà ọlọ́run má fi wá tàràkà ọlọ́run má fi wá jẹyà ẹ bá mi táìpà àmì síbẹ̀ ẹ káàbọ̀ sórí ètò lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí ẹ wá nǹkan fìdílé tàbí kẹ́ fìdílé nǹkan kẹ́ máa bá wa kálọ. God bless you.
Give them their money now.
Guys, snap this gentleman. Give them my money. People are extorting on the road, yeah? Extorting.
Oh my God.
Give them money back. Guys, grab your back and run.
Guys, bring that bag, it's not going.
Guys, give back. Give them back their key. Give back. So protecting civilians. How much are there any on this road here?
Sir, do you know me? Sorry. Do you know me? Sorry. Do you know me? Do you know me? Go on, give me that stick. Do you know me? 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 Leave Why you calling money on the road? Why calling money on the road? Why?
Tàbẹ́ẹ̀rí nǹkan kò sí ní ó ti bọ̀jẹ́ ẹ bá gbẹ́ pé ó ti bọ̀jẹ́ gan ni ẹ wo ọlọ́pàá ló mú àmì ló mú ọlọ́pàá wọn kò máa dúró ẹwà wọn tó jẹ́ wípé àwọn tó ń gbowó lọ́wọ́ wọn yìí gan wọ́n ń ṣẹ́ èpè fún yín owó ìnira lẹ̀ ń gbà lọ́wọ́ wọn bọ̀ àwọn eléyìí náà ò kí ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá ti rí ìmúra wọn àwọn gan ṣán sanwó oṣù fún wọn ni ṣán san owó oṣù fún wọn ní anígan yìí ti bàjẹ́ débi wípé wọ́n fẹ́ gbọ́ lẹ́nu yín pé restructuring anything wọ́n fẹ́ gbọ́ èyí tó fẹ́ lọ ṣe wípé àwọn fẹ́ lọ ṣe anything at all kó pààrọ̀ 99 constitution gan pàápàá gan àwọn people yẹn because kó tó di wípé àwọn èèyàn á bẹ̀rẹ̀ sí ní sọ̀rọ̀ gbogbo agbára ti wà lọ́wọ́ wọn protest tán fẹ́ lọ ṣe yìí kákan máa gba aládùúrà ni kọ́lọ́run jẹ́ kó pè wá ni torí àwọn pípù yẹn wọn bá wà ń bẹ̀ fóṣù kọ àwọn pípù yìí àdúrà kóníkálukú lọ òun nìkan ló kù òun nìkan ló rin òun ní plan A òun ní plan Z kò sí plan kankan ẹ wo àwọn ọlọ́pàá ẹ wo àmì ẹ máa rọ́lọ́kadà tó lọ èyí tó ń kiri pọpọf gan pàápàá gan á tún tọrọ pọpọf lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ kó fáwọn ní pọpọf wọ́n lè ní kò oh my God ẹ wo àwọn tó gbowó lọ́wọ́ ẹ jẹ́ kí n tún
give them their money now.
Guys, snap this gentleman. Give them my money. People are extorting on the road, yeah? Extorting. Give them money back. Guys, grab your back and run.
Guys, bring that bag, it's not going.
Guys, give back. Give them back their key. Give back. So protecting civilians. How much are there any on this road here?
Sir, do you know me? Sorry. Do you know me? Sorry. Do you know me? Do you know me? Go on, give me that stick. Do you know me? Do you know me? Do you know me? Do you know me? Do you
Àbí àtọlọ́pàá wá bára wọn jà.
Why you calling money on the road? Why calling money on the road? Why?
Wọ́n wá ń bára wọn jà. Ṣé ti ríṣẹ́ kò lè work. Ó ti bàjẹ́. Agbára yẹn ti wà lọ́wọ́ wọn jípọn tí ẹ fẹ́ gbọ́ kọ́kọ́ ẹyọ kan ṣó ta fẹ́ tẹnu mọ́ ta fẹ́ tẹ̀sán mọ́ ta fẹ́ tẹ orí mọ́ tẹ gbogbo everything mọ́ òun lélẹ̀ lẹ́yìn eléyìí kò tún sí nǹkan kan tó jọ kò tún sí nǹkan kan Now, ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ sí program of the today. Kẹ́ wá gbọ́. Àdìkọ́tì kankan.
Want to
Ilé
settle
ìdílé
them,
o, ní ìbọ̀.
and you don't know how
Fún
this
àǹfààní
government,
ẹ̀yin
whether
tẹ́ bá ti gbọ́.
it's Dr.
Torí mo
Zoe.
mọ̀ pé ó ti
This
rìn
is
gan
a
ni.
Monday
Mo
morning
dúpẹ́ lọ́wọ́
in
ẹ̀yin tí
Canada.
ẹ send ẹ̀ sí mi gan.
Yeah,
Torí mo
I
mọ̀
normally
pé
don't start work.
àwọn èèyàn send ẹ̀ sí mi gan ni. Fún àǹfààní ẹ̀yin tẹ́ bá ti gbọ́ àtẹ̀yin tẹ́ ti gbọ́, ẹ jẹ́ ká sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí ìkànnì tiwa náà. God bless you, ẹ máa bá mi ká lọ.
Early on Mondays, but I just came to do a few things, and I got a call from someone from Nigeria, and I don't think Nigerian politicians will make heaven. I'm just telling you, Nigerian politicians, they will not make heaven. They cannot make heaven. And let me just explain. You know, I just sometimes I say things just to leave my mind. And I wanted to have a good week this week. You called me that I know your friend got into government and they gave you an appointment as a federal something. I don't really know. And you came. You called me this morning. Things are going okay. Good for you. You said you want to buy another house in Canada because you saw my post last weekend with a realtor. So I should help you connect and get a house here again. According to you, you've bought 3 houses already. You just want to buy the 4th one for your 4 children because you want to settle them. And you don't know how this government, whether it will last or not, whether Baba Agostino, you said all that, and I was listening. You told me also that you don't do mortgage, you just buy cash. You bought 3 already, you want to buy the 4th one, and I was listening. And I should help you to buy. My brother, you can't make heaven. I know. You know your kids are here, that kids are grown. I knew you way back from Nigeria. They're probably going to be listening and watching this video too. And your wife too. You know what you got. I told you, I said to you that I think Nigeria is difficult now because the youths want to demonstrate end of this month. There's a lot of hardship. Gas, petrol is expensive. Food is expensive. He said, we in diaspora always think Nigeria is bad and it's not as bad as we think. My brother, over 100 million Nigerians have camera phone. Social media, we see these things now. We see things are bad. We feel it. We have people back home too. It's not diaspora thing. And you have the mind. How long this government don't deserve? You don't have the mind. You don't buy 3 houses or you won't buy the 4th one because you're not sure how long Baba go dey. I cannot. I don't see the pathway that you will make heaven. I'm telling you. And you guys have to listen. And the people after you will suffer. I'm not saying, listen, I know you're not Jagaban, you're not the president, I know that one. And you're not a governor, and they give you some federal post. You won't loot Nigeria dry. Look at people, poverty. Young girls are doing prostitution. Yahoo, crime everywhere because of people like you. But make I tell you, that phone, caught me caught her. Because I don't want you to call me again. So that when God go to send in punishment to you, he would not say that Dr. Zoe overheard or that I connected you. If you want to a real Togo, Henry's on my page, can go to him directly. No, I won't give you any connect. I'm telling you, I don't want to deal with people like you. You're heartless. And like I say, I can't see a pathway through which you can make heaven. You cannot make heaven. You Nigerian politicians, you guys are too mean. Okay, assuming you still the one that will do just you and your family, you guys will still the one that will do generations and leave the other people in swallow. That's wrong. I don't want to, as I said, this is Monday morning. I don't want to start the week. Don't call me again, please. I'm begging you. Go and look for where you're going to dump your money. I don't want to have anything to do with it. Because the prayer, where people they pray for you for that country, my brother, be better prayer. Be better prayer. Politicians, you guys have to think twice. And for the youth that are demonstrating, I'm with you guys in spirit. You guys should do protest. You suffer too much. I'm saying it. But if I come back to Nigeria, they will hold me at the airport. Myself, I'm a Canadian. I get my Canadian ballet now. You will explain to Canada what happened to their Peking. I will say it. You guys will not make heaven, Nigerian politicians. You guys are too mean, too greedy. Chop small. Go and fix the country. You know fit. Say diaspora people, they always think Nigeria is bad. We see them, we see everything on social media. We go home too.
Oríṣiríṣi tó ń ṣẹlẹ̀. Èyí tèmi mọ̀ tí mo mọ̀ kò yé yín sìn tó fi wà lórí ìjọba tó fi wà ń bẹ̀ mélòó la fẹ́ kà eléyìí latest one ni. Èyí tí bàbá Bọ́lá Ahmed Tinubu ṣẹ̀ṣẹ̀ lo ọdún kan ẹni ò bá wọn lò ń bẹ̀. Kò pé 50 years of age. Fún 4 years yẹn, ó ra lé cash nínú UK táwa yìí. Ó ra lé cash nínú UK táwa yìí. Ilé tó kọ́ ní Èkó, property tó ní Èkó fún 4 years yẹn. Tẹ́ bá dẹ̀ rí àwọn people yìí, ṣòkòtò wọn ò délẹ̀ ò mú fọlọ́run búra. Ṣé rí pé mo tún fọlọ́run? Because ìgbà tó òun náà débẹ̀ náà ti sọ wípé look here, wọ́n mú ẹ wá ni o, tó bá lè ṣe bá ṣe ń bí. Including àwọn family ẹ̀ gan. Àwọn bàbá àti ìyá gan tó jẹ́ pọ́n borí ju nǹkan míì gan lọ. Ọmọ ẹ̀ ò ṣe kinní kan ń gbé kinní kan wá. Ilé tó ń gbé gan within 6 months dàbí pé wọ́n wú ní àdúgbò yẹn ni. Gbogbo wa la mọ̀ yẹn lẹ máa fi mọ̀ wípé ṣé irú àwọn yẹn ló fẹ́ jókòó báyìí negotiate wípé òkè ẹlẹ́lọ́pàá tiyín ẹ máa mójútó ọrọ̀ ajé tiyín. Ẹ sọ pé bàbá wo lọ ayé ìgbà bàbá wo ló wọ̀ tún Ọlọ́run máa ní mú ìpadà sẹ́yìn bá wa o. Àwọn eléyìí ò lè ṣe ìbí ìpàtà tá à ń fara wa padà sẹ́yìn. Ẹ wo nǹkan tá à ń sọ náà. Àwọn tó jẹ́ pé àwọn ò fẹ́ nǹkan tí gbogbo ayé tí ọmọ tó tí bí tọmọ tí wọn ò tún tí bí òun náà fi sílẹ̀. Dádì mo fẹ́ bímọ 3, mo fẹ́ bímọ méjì, ọmọ 2 ni mo fẹ́ bí. Owó àwọn ọmọ yẹn wọ́n ti ń san sílẹ̀, ọmọ wọ́n ti ń fowó sílẹ̀ nínú àkáǹtì fún un. Ọ̀rọ̀ tó sọ yẹn, ọ̀rọ̀ tí màá yìí sọ kò ń ṣe 100%, 250% ni. Protest yìí k'Ọlọ́run fún wọn ṣe, k'Ọlọ́run wá jẹ́ kó favour àwa lágbára lọ́wọ́ Ọlọ́run. Ẹ jẹ́ ká tẹ̀síwájú. Fídíò kan wà níbí báyìí o. Ẹ mọ̀ pé mo máa ń sọ tẹ́ bá wo program tán ẹ lè mọ báwo ló ṣe jẹ́. Tó bá kàn wo fídíò kan tá sọ̀rọ̀ lórí tó ti o lè rí tí ìwọ náà lè rí tí ẹ mú ń bẹ̀. Lo fídíò ẹyọkan àlò méjì. Ẹ bá wa like, ẹ bá wa fi comment sílẹ̀, kẹ̀dẹ̀ bá wa share. Tó bá jẹ́ nígbà àkọ́kọ́ ni why tẹ́ bá wa subscribe so that anytime tó bá ń ṣe program a lè máa fún yín ní notification. God bless you. Now,
of a country and foreign exchange float management. And you've heard and you saw the report of Bloomberg that in a period of less than 2 months, Nigeria has blown away in less than 1 month over $2.1 billion of our foreign reserve in defending the naira. See, there's nothing wrong in defending the naira. Every country manages the exchange rate of their country to that of foreign currencies, convertible currencies, the major currencies. And they do it to be able to control trades and all the rest of them. China deliberately devalues their yuan to be able to make their export more competitive for a very productive economy. As much as possible, you will lower the value of your currency to be able to make your export very, very, very attractive. The Vietnamese are also a productive economy. The Vietnamese dong is about 24,000 dong.
Ẹ lè wo tẹ́yìn dẹ̀ báyìí tí gbọ́ nǹkan tí guy tó sọ. ẹ má kánjú o. Ìgbà tẹ́mi náà kàn gbọ́ mi tí gbọ́ ìgbà tó dé àwọn ibì kan, you know, ẹ máa wò ó pé yes, àwọn nǹkan tá à ń sọ leléyìí, àwọn nǹkan tá à ń sọ rèé. Torí ẹ mo kàn fẹ́ jẹ́ kẹ́ ẹ ṣe cup of tea yín, kẹ́ máa bá ká lọ, kẹ́ máa bá, ẹ má jẹ́ ká kánjú rárá, ẹ máa enjoy ẹ̀. Ẹ máa rí wípé tó bá jẹ́ fact or kò ń ṣe fact, ẹ bá mi fi lẹ̀ nínú comment section. Now,
yes, they're about to $1, but they are very productive. Annually, they export over $356 billion worth of goods and services, and they deliberately devalue their currency to make their exports very competitive, especially when compared to that of China into the US and other Western countries. Nothing is wrong in managing float, but we need to ask yourself, how do you manage float, and from where do you manage float? When we talk about foreign exchange reserve has to do with everything that has to do with foreign deposits, treasury bills, bonds, inflows that come into an economy, inflows in terms of foreign receivables, you know, and you know, for example, now our local currency here is Naira. Any dollar coming into Nigeria, CBN warehouses dollar and then releases Naira equivalent to support activities here. Of course, how do we generate dollar? When we export goods, when we export services, when we receive diaspora remittances, and when we have foreign direct investment and foreign portfolio investment. How do we spend the dollars? When we import goods and services, and then social other things like education and health. Now, it was very easy for us to defend. If you look at our history since 1999, when Obasanjo became president, our foreign reserve was about $5 billion. In Cuba, to about tune of about $3.9 billion was in Cuba. Nigeria was heavily indebted, $32 billion, and we couldn't even service it. Nigeria was a pariah nation. What did Obasanjo do? Very simple. Became president, moved around the world, begging the world to forgive us, to remove the pariah status of Nigeria, recruited some of the best hands, Okonji Wala, Charles Soludo, into his team, Taminu Yakubu, and all the rest of them, Nasiru El-Rufai, obviously, formed a very strong team, and within a space of 8 years, Obasanjo negotiated and paid off our foreign debt. $18 billion was paid as full and final settlement for that $32 billion. They forgave us about $12 billion. When Obasanjo became president, crude oil was in at $17.30. Our output was about 1.7 million barrels. Obasanjo understood clearly that to be able to shore up our reserve, to be able to build up enough base to protect the economy, he needed to ramp up oil output. Oil output was ramped up to about 2 million barrels a day. If you looked at Obasanjo's first term, oil prices never went above $23.50, but Obasanjo was able to manage no leakages. Obasanjo, of course, you know him, he's a very strong man. You cannot, most of those that stole under his government got dealt with. Tafa Balogun was disgraced and jailed. A lot of people. Obasanjo was a strong man. He was the one that started the EFCC with Nuhu Ribadu, and Nuhu was very effective. Give it to Nuhu Ribadu. Nuhu Ribadu to tomorrow remains the most effective EFCC chairman Nigeria has ever had. In fact, the fear of Nuhu Ribadu was the beginning of wisdom. Of course, you saw he injected $15 million. Nuhu was very effective as EFCC chairman, and he helped Obasanjo to protect leakages in Nigeria. Obasanjo, by the time he left power in 2007, left foreign reserve of $47 billion, paid off external debt. We never, in fact, our external debt was less than $500 million debt, because Obasanjo cleared everything. So Yar'Adua and Jonathan inherited an economy that had near to zero external debt profile. Obasanjo gave them a clean slate with a foreign reserve of $40. And how was he able to build it? He shut down the leakages in the system. Even when he was leaving, he understood clearly that allowing the refineries and the oil of our Nigeria to remain in public sector will never allow it to work. He deliberately privatized it to the Blue Star Consortium. Of course, that was only one mistake Yar'Adua made. He reversed that sales. If that sales had been upheld, Nigeria wouldn't have been where we are today. Anyway, let me not digress. Obasanjo was able to build. Now, Yar'Adua and Jonathan inherited foreign reserve of $7 billion. Of course, output, they even ramped up output. After Yar'Adua died, Jonathan took over. In 2010, Jonathan ramped up output to about 2.4 million barrels. 2011 and 2012, we had output at 2.4 million, 2.6 million barrels, crude oil and condensate. We were receiving inflows of about $90 billion in 2011, $98 billion in 2012, $75 billion in 2013 from crude oil receivables. And of course, they were able to defend the Naira. if you look at Naira was $88 Naira to $1 when Obasanjo became president. When he left, it was 124. Naira lost only about 38 Naira to $1. But Obasanjo was able to manage it very, very well. Same thing with Jonathan. We are paying huge subsidies on petroleum because petroleum price then was about 87 Naira. So we are paying huge price, but we were able to defend. We are spending billions of dollars. But what were we defending? We are defending with proceeds of crude oil. We weren't borrowing to defend. And of course, that Jonathan's government was the most reckless. We ended over $464 billion, in crude oil sales. We had, of course, he inherited zero debts practically from Obasanjo. But of course, by the time he left external debt of $10 billion, which was not too bad. Total debt profile was 12 trillion Naira. So when Buhari became president, he had a reserve of $29 billion, $20 billion unencumbered. He had oil he was trading. Don't let anybody deceive you. He created output of 2.4 million barrels a day. But Buhari, just like anything Buhari, when he came to 1983, we saw what he did. Very reckless, very incompetent. He blew away everything, got our crude oil resources stolen like sweet. From the height of 2.4 million barrels a day, it came down to less than 1 million barrels. By the time Buhari left office, Buhari had created massive holes for Nigeria, even sold crude oil in advance. In fact, he left Bese to Tinubu, Bese unpaid bills at the CBN that Yemi Cardoso was able to pay $5 billion. The other 2.4 billion that is yet to be resolved. So he left for Tinubu 77 trillion Naira national debt, $43 billion external debt position, and then way and means of 23 trillion Naira. Now I want us to understand why we are trading on a very dangerous landscape. Today, our output has remained at less than OPEC quota of 1.78 million barrels. Now, it was easy for Obasanjo, it was easy to Jonathan to defend. They weren't defending with borrowed funds, they were defending with massive crude oil sales. And if you look at our import figures in those days, from 2010, we only imported $64 billion worth of things. 2011, $89 billion. 2012, $60 billion. 2013, $67 billion. 2014, $71 billion. 2015, $52 billion. We were importing even more than we were importing now. But these guys were able to defend the Naira then because they had a huge dollar inflow. Crude oil resources was being sold. And Nigeria was earning crude oil revenue. But today, and they didn't have huge external debt to pay. There was no huge external debt because Obasanjo cleared the stable. But today, look at what Tinubu is grappling with. And that is what is scaring most of us who understand dynamics and fundamentals of economic management. Tinubu inherited $43 billion external debt obligation. That will be paid. Tinubu inherited over 27 trillion Naira domestic debt, plus 23 trillion Naira ways and means, and 7 trillion Naira interest on it. This $43 billion external debt will be paid. There's going to be a service element to it. There's going to be repayment to it. And now, crude oil resources that will have helped us to cushion and defend the Naira, just like the Jonathan era. Because if you look at between Obasanjo and Jonathan, Naira lost only 111 Naira because they had huge FX coming in from crude oil sales because output was 2.4 million barrels. Today, output is 1.4 million barrels a day. Tinubu inherited $43 billion external debt that will be serviced and repaid. Now, what are we using to defend this thing? The crude oil trickles that are coming in will not be enough to defend this. Already, there was a Reuters report that NNPC, you saw what El-Rufai said, they wasted 8 trillion Naira in subsidy in 8 months. Tinubu should be asking questions. And there's even a rumor that there's even this allegation that they are owing over $3 billion unpaid obligations to those that supplied us with PMS. Now the question is, what are we using to defend the Naira? Under Obasanjo, under Jonathan, we had huge oil resources that we use. Today, we don't have that leisure. We are borrowing monies to defend the Naira. Over the last 3 months, we have taken almost about $4 billion by way of foreign portfolio investment at a very expensive rate of 21%. That simply means by this time next year, we will have an obligation of $4.7 billion to pay for the first quarter. And who knows how much we are going to borrow this second quarter and third quarter and fourth quarter. If we do not cut down on the insecurity, Obasanjo did not have the kind of insecurity that Tinubu has now. Even Jonathan Now, we are battling insecurity across every sector. So sometimes when we talk like this, we are not criticizing out of malice. We are trying to help this government to be able to take the right step to protect Nigerians and itself. And what do? Our major foreign exchange earner is the crude oil resources. In fact, under Jonathan, foreign direct diaspora remittances averaged $25 billion. Today, it came down. Foreign direct investments were coming in tens of billions. Today is about, in 2023, it was about $3 billion. Buhari wrecked this country. Totally wrecked it. And Yemi Cardoso is doing everything possible within the limited instruments available to him to defend the naira, which is very, very good because Nigerians are suffering. People are bleeding. So what Yemi is trying to do to see how he can bring this thing low, even to the level he met it. But after he had borrowed to do it, and the debt will be repaid next year, where are we going to get the dollar to repay this thing? If the crude oil output is not ramped up to 2.5 million barrels, if we do not slay the insecurity that is in Nigeria, to allow our farmers to go back to work, to allow Nigerians to go into productive activities, and that is what Mr. President should be focusing on. And it is very shocking, and I'm surprised, and I want to. Mr. President inherited a very hemorrhaging economy, a comatose economy. When you are a manager, you enter into a new team. You saw a team that spent 16 trillion at $4 billion. In 8 years, they could not fill the refineries in subsidies. You saw a team that presided over loot of crude oil on an annual basis, $22 billion for 5 whole years. What you should have done if you want to protect yourself as the leader, what a pharaoh will have done will have been to clear out the stable from the NNPC to the NNDPRA to every person that was appointed by Buhari, clear them out. Because these guys could not protect the interest of Nigeria. And then bring in your men. Tinubu worked in mobile. Tinubu is an oil and gas person. He has contacts. He knows people. He can easily get people to help him. You cannot keep a team that fumbled, a team that created the base we are carrying now. Mr. President, it's for your own good and the good of Nigeria. Some of us are patriots. When we say these things, God knows our heart. It's not out of malice. Nigeria is a country that takes the right boxes to become one of the top biggest 10 economies in the whole world. You can do it. When you said you want to build a $1 trillion economy, it is possible, Mr. President. But you don't win the Champions League with incompetent players that have played 5 years without winning the Champions League. You can't use them. They can't do anything for you. You get rid of them and get good hands to help you. Yemi Cardoso is one of the shining stars. Yemi Cardoso, Bosun Tijani, and Olabu Ojo, the interior affairs minister. These are the very few good hands you have. 80% of your cabinet members are doing nothing on the physical side. NNPC by now, the refineries will have been working. Don't let anybody deceive you. Mr. President, you can get local investors in Nigeria that can buy up 60% of Nigeria's shares in NNPC. You open up the place, list on the floor, make it as transparent as the Nigerian liquefied natural gas. That will give you $42 billion inside the account to defend the naira and to do infrastructure. And now it will be a twin issue of offer for sales and then IPO, just like Aramco. If you do offer for sales and divest 60% and IPO of 20 billion, Mr. President, Nigerians will subscribe it. Get a JP Morgan Chase or Goldman Sachs to help you to do this. NNPC will be listed like Petrobras. Petrobras is only owned 28.5% by the Brazilian federal government. Their total assets is about $174 billion. Total revenue last year was about $121 billion. Profit at 7 billion. They are 10 times more profitable than NNPC, Mr. President. Save your government, help your government. You can do it. Renewed hope should start with Mr. President. Don't look at anybody. We know that people helped you to become president. People supported you. But when Nigeria is at a point of existential danger, do the right thing, put the right plug, and step on toes, Mr. President. You can do it. Get rid of anybody who was part of the Buhari's oil and gas industry. Clear them out and get people to help you. We need to help Yemi Cardoso from the physical side. On security, diversify the security architecture of Nigeria. We have shared with you how you can do it. Recruit 100 youths from every community. Let the communities, let the electorate from every ward in Nigeria, let them donate their sons, Mr. President. Put them in the army, train them, equip them with, get innocent and nod to provide, to produce for us armored personnel carriers, 4 in every local government area, armored truck mounted machine guns. Give them AK-47. Let them go back to their communities. And they are part of the army. They will be part of Nigeria, but they will be Nigerian Army Rangers. Then use them to protect clusters of 1,000 hectares of agro upgrade in every of the world. That will give us about 10 million hectares of new upstream. Clear them out. Let them use them to clear out the bandits. Mr. President, when you provide 24/7 security in Nigeria and you fix the oil and gas sector, I tell you, you are halfway into getting the $1 trillion economy that you've envisaged. And the EFCC is doing a good job. They should go beyond chasing those who are using $20. Olukoyede can do it. Unshackle him. Go after the former governors. So recover our monies, Mr. President. When you do these things, second term becomes easy for you. God bless you.
Àtẹ́wọ́, àwa ti sọ eléyìí tẹ́lẹ̀tẹ́lẹ̀. Bàbá yẹn, ọlọ́mọ ẹ̀ kan gbé apẹ̀rẹ̀ àjàṣe síyàn lọ́wọ́ ni. Ẹ máa gbọ́ statement tó sọ ń bẹ̀ yẹn. Ó lóun mọ̀ wípé, a mọ̀ wípé wọ́n ẹ̀bẹ̀ débẹ̀. A mọ̀ wípé àwọn kan kò ń ṣe wípé nǹkan tó vote fún ẹ ló gbé ẹ débẹ̀. Àdéhùn ni. Bàbá Tinubu nìkan kọ́ ló wà lórí oyè. Bàbá Tinubu mọ what to do. Ìyàwó ẹ̀ náà ti wà nínú Senate 24 years ago. But àwọn tágbára yẹn wà lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀ tó mọ̀ wípé wọ́n lè fi by one way or the other rọ̀ òun lóyè within 24 hours. By one way or the other tó mọ̀ wọ́n tó àwọn Kabaz. Òun ni. Ìgbà tó jẹ́ pé àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ ṣáà rí, ó ti gbé Yorùbá síbí, ó ti gbé Yorùbá sọ̀hún. NNPC ńkọ́? Àwọn wo ló ní NNPC? Àwọn nǹkan mélòó náà ti gbà padà? Gbogbo àwọn ọrọ̀ ajé tó jẹ́ tilẹ̀ Nàìjíríà tó privatize ẹ̀ tí ò wá lọ bó yẹ kó lọ, mélòó náà gbà padà? Wọ́n lè rí ṣe èpè kọ́. Wọ́n lè rí ṣe èpè kọ́. Restructuring ò lè ràn lọ́lẹ̀ yìí. Ká work towards, ká pọwọ́pọ̀, ká kúrò, òun nìkan ni. Báwo la fẹ́ ṣe? Ọ̀nà bó la máa gbé gbà? Ìgbà wo ni, àkókò wo ni? Nobody knows. Wọ́n à fold ọwọ́. Èyí tó ti jù nìyẹn, one way or the other. Ọlọ́run ò ní fi wá sílẹ̀ fún ìyà jẹ. Ó ń ká wa lára. Ilé ayé ò ṣe gbé, ọ̀run ò ṣe bínú lọ. Ìlú òyìnbó kò easy láti gbé. Nàìjíríà ò ṣe bínú lọ, òun ni. Kan tó fà á nìyẹn. Gbogbo àwọn tó jẹ́ wípé wọ́n wà ní 60 years, 70. Ẹlòmíì gan tó bá ti wà ní 60, nìrònú yẹn máa ti máa bá. Tension yẹn máa ti máa wà nínú gbogbo ọpọlọ ẹ̀ pé tó bá lè jẹ́ pé lè dání. Tó bá lè jẹ́ pé lè dání. Tó bá lè jẹ́ pé lè dání. Òun ló ń ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹni tó wà ń lo òyìnbó. Òun ló ń ṣe ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ ẹni tó wà ń lo òyìnbó. Kẹ́ má rò wípé saliva yẹn kàn pọ̀ lẹ́nu tán kàn fẹ́ waste ni. No. Owó kan wà tán kàn fẹ́ waste. No. Bóyá ó kàn wọ́n kọ́kàn wá máa gbáwọ́ mọ́rí lórí ayélujára. No. Tí ò bá jẹ́ wípé gẹ́gẹ́ bọ́n ṣe sọ pé lílàbọ̀ sí mi oko, kò sí lílàbọ̀ sí mi oko kankan mọ́ lọ́rọ̀ Nàìjíríà, lọ́rọ̀ 80% Africa. Tó bá yá sí gan pàápàá gan, ìgbà tán bá rí físà fáwọn èèyàn mọ́, àwọn èèyàn á máa move láti máa lọ sí àwọn ìlú àwọn Africa tó ń rí ìdíjókòó ńsìn tí tán ti ń wo future wípé táwa máa fi rí 10 years time ìgbésí ayé ìrọ̀rùn á ti dé bá wa. Àwọn ọmọ Nàìjíríà, àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá, wọn ò mind á tún lọ máa ra property, á lọ máa ra ilé, á máa move ara wọn lọ síbẹ̀ sí i. ìyá mi bàbá mi ojú òní tiwa àwọn Ìkòdú ṣe bẹbẹ o àwọn Ìkòdú ṣe bẹbẹ àwọn Ìkòdú ṣe bẹbẹ wọn ṣe bẹbẹ bọbọ yẹn in short that guy Ìkòdú ọ̀gá tó ń jẹ́ yẹn àwa gangan àwa Ìjẹ̀bú-Rẹ́mọ lọ̀gá ọ̀gá lọ láti Ṣàgámù lọ sí Ìkòròdú ni ẹ mọ̀ pé Kòdú Ṣàgámù ló bí Kòdú ọmọ wa náà jẹ́ but àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ yẹn ẹ jẹ́ ká gbà fún wọn wọ́n ní tó bá ṣe kinní kan wọ́n ní gbà fọ́gà ẹ̀ òun lọ̀rọ̀ àwọn tó ń ṣiṣẹ́ yìí a ní kó pọ̀ sí i nílẹ̀ Yorùbá because àwọn tó ń lé yìí tó ń mú yìí wọ́n máa sún lọ sáwọn bòmíì ni ẹ jẹ́ ká dìde ẹ̀yin tó kù ẹ̀yin tẹkù ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá tó kù ẹ dìde fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ pẹ̀lú nǹkan tí àwọn Ìkòdú ẹ bóyá máa dárúkọ àdúgbò ibi tó jẹ́ ọ apá ibi tó jẹ́ kẹ́ jẹ́ ká jọ ṣerú nǹkan báyìí kẹ́ wà alert ní everywhere ẹ má dúró de wípé táwọn èèyàn bá ń rí irú ẹni yìí ó máa wù èèyàn láti fún ní pé pé má gbà má bínú téèyàn bá mọ irú ẹni yìí téèyàn bá mọ nọ́mbà ẹ̀ yes because ó ṣiṣẹ́ yàtọ̀ sáwọn tó jẹ́ pé a ní ìdí ọ̀pá a ní ìdí kinní kan a ní ká tiẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ di àdúgbò wa mú mo ti lo fídíò ọ̀gá yìí mo ti lo kò ń ṣàkọ́kọ́ kò ń ṣe kejì ẹja túwélé.
Oya, open this thing. Oya, ṣí. Open it. Ẹ feel ẹ má bàa fọwọ́ kàn. Open it one by one. Àwọn olè yìí ti pọ̀ jù kí ló dé? Wetin be this? Yes, hey, hold on. Drop it down. Ẹ bá ń wo aluminium yẹn náà, àwọn aluminium panu yẹn. Ẹ kọ́ ṣe náà ẹ ṣí. Ẹ open ẹ̀ náà ń fẹ́ wò. Ẹ ní sòrò ẹ ṣí one by one. Ẹ bá open ẹ̀. Ẹ open ẹ̀. Ẹ jẹun, ẹ gbélé jẹun. Okay. Oya, open this one. Ẹ open yẹn náà. Ẹ open ace. Ẹ dúró síbẹ̀ yẹn kẹ́ open kílẹ̀ wá ń ṣe ń bí ẹ ń ṣe bébì náà. Ẹ padà báyìí járe kẹ́ má ṣe bí ọ̀dẹ̀ jọ. Tó bẹ̀ yẹn. Oya, gbélé. Mo ti rí nǹkan tí fẹ́ rí. Drop it down. Wetin dey inside? Oya, open this one. Ajé. Ẹ̀yin pípọ̀ yẹn ní pa wá. Ní pa wá. Tuntun leléyìí. Ẹ wo bí ẹ gbé padà. Ẹ gbé padà. Ẹ máa fara balẹ̀. Iṣẹ́ tá a bá rán ẹnìkan jẹ́ náà. Ẹ gbé jáde lẹ́yìn kọ̀ọ̀kan. Tuntun mà làwọn kinní yìí. Ẹ ti rí o. Kí ló ń pe kinní iná kinní tó máa ń lò tọ́lẹ̀ washing base. Ṣé mẹ́ta ẹ ti rí. Ṣé ti rí eléyìí ń sìn tó bá yá kan sọ pé àwọn ọkọ̀ báyẹn ń fi ṣe fídíò wọn yìí ń sìn tá a máa ń post ẹ̀ àwọn kan máa ń sọ pé àníṣe àwọn kan máa ní tribalism àwọn kan máa sọ pé àníṣe àwọn kan máa ní wèrè níwá ṣé pé gbogbo àwọn tó sọ pé wèrè níwá àníṣe eré pé lórí burúkú ni gbogbo wọn àmọ́ ibi tó ti kún bọ̀ ń sìn yìí o àmọ́ ibi tó ti kún bọ̀ ẹ̀ ṣé pé tuntun ni kíni tó bá yà àwọn èèyàn á ní wọ́n já nǹkan wọn wọ́n já lé onílé wọ́n já gbogbo ẹ̀ ibo ló ti rí ẹ wò òun lélẹ́yìí o but a máa investigate ẹ̀ a máa béèrè ibi tó ti rí a máa tẹ̀lé débẹ̀ àbẹ̀ tó yá dẹ̀ kó wọ́n ta fún ni ó máa pe ẹnìyẹn wá a máa ṣe fídíò ibi tẹ́nìyẹn ti rí àti ibi tẹ́nìyẹn ti rà torí tuntun ni àwọn kinní ṣé mọ̀ pé a ṣe fídíò kan tóbìnrin kan náà kó ogun nǹkan léhùn dé kitchen dé everything máa kan náà tún wá èèyàn tó ti wá òtẹ̀ ṣe mẹ́wàá kí ló dé òun leléyìí o ṣé ti rí eléyìí ò ń ṣe pé kinní o àti ẹ̀gbẹ́ eléyìí ó lè rí eléyìí ńlẹ̀ kó ka fine but eléyìí mẹ́ta ìgangan ni mo wà after mẹ́ta ìyẹ́ pé tuntun ni ẹ wò ṣé ti rí tuntun ni o ṣé rí tuntun ni o eléyìí ò ṣe pé wọ́n ní wọ́n pé o inú àpò ló ti gbé jáde o inú mi dẹ̀ dùn pé a bẹ̀rẹ̀ fídíò yìí anybody rí kò ṣe pé wọ́n kó sí lọ́wọ́ àbọ̀nṣe so a máa béèrè lọ́wọ́ ẹbí tó ti rí ẹni tó gbé fún ibi tó ti ń gbé bọ̀ á ṣàlàyé àbí lébi tó ti lọ kó a máa tẹ̀lé débẹ̀ afẹ́rẹ́ òkodo ọ̀rọ̀ alright àtúmù mi wá fún yín olórí ọ̀dọ́ ló tún fi eléyìí wọ̀nyí olórí ọ̀dọ́ gbẹ̀rígbẹ̀ ni o.
olórí ọ̀dọ́ gbẹ̀rígbẹ̀ olórí ó ń ṣe iṣẹ́ ládùúgbò yẹn. I'm pretty sure wípé àwọn people yẹn wọ́n máa gbọ́ information wọ́n máa sá kúrò ńbẹ̀ yìí. Ẹ̀yin ọmọ Yorùbá ẹ jẹ́ ká tiẹ̀ kọ́kọ́ dilé múná, ẹ jẹ́ ká kọ́kọ́ tún àdúgbò wa ṣe, ẹ jẹ́ ká dúró. À ń lọgun lójoojúmọ́, gbogbo àwọn ilé tán kọ́ tán tí àwọn people yìí tán lọ ń gbé nínú ẹ̀, gbogbo ẹ̀ ló yẹ káwọn ọmọ Yorùbá kan mójútó. But oníkálukú ń sọjú nù ni, mi ò lè wá kó òun nìkan ni. Adẹ̀lá fẹ́ gbára wa kúrò nínú oko ẹrú. Wọ́n nílé la ti ń kẹ̀ṣọ́ ròde. Ìgbà tó lè béèrè pé kí lèèyàn kan ṣe nínú compound ẹ̀. Ẹ wo nǹkan tó ń ṣe yìí. Ní ojúmọ́ kan wọn ò lè ṣe kán má mú àwọn people wọn ò lè ṣe kán má mú wọn. Àwọn ọmọ Yorùbá náà wà o, mo ní ìyẹn náà lọ́wọ́ tó mú o. Iṣẹ́ gidi ló ń ṣe. Mo dẹ̀ mọ̀ pé Ọlọ́run á bá wa ran brother wa yìí, Ọlọ́run á bá wa ràn án lọ́wọ́. Irú eléyìí ó yẹ kéèyàn lè fún ẹni yìí ní nǹkan wípé ẹgbàá ẹ bá wa fi ra table water. Wọ́n ní tí kinní kan bá ṣe kinní kan orí ayé atọ́kùn, ẹ bá mi parí ẹ̀ lé. Ìkòdú ń try o, Ìkòdú gbìyànjú, ó gbìyànjú. Bá ifẹ́ nìyẹn tí Yorùbá nation bá dé. Kò sí ọ̀rọ̀ wípé ẹ lè gbọ́ra yín yé, ẹ lè ṣe kinní kan. No! Omi tuntun ti rú. Nǹkan tuntun ló ṣẹlẹ̀, àwa nìkan kọ́ ló máa kọ́kọ́ ṣẹlẹ̀ sí. Ẹ má kàn jẹ́ ká wò wá wípé ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ yìí náà lélẹ̀. Àwa kọ́ la fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation. Àwa kọ́ la fẹ́ rule o. Torí àwọn kan wá ní ẹ̀yin tẹ́lẹ̀ fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation náà lélẹ̀. Oníkálukú wa ń gbìyànjú ni. Èmi àtẹ̀yin a jọ ń gbìyànjú ni. Ìwọ̀nba ìta lè ṣe náà lélẹ̀. Àwa kọ́ la fẹ́ lọ sí House of Assembly yín. Àwa kọ́ lẹ fẹ́ fi ṣe president. Àwa kọ́ lẹ fẹ́ fi ṣe, àwa náà ń gbìyànjú ní. Ẹ jẹ́ ká lọ níyẹn ní mind. Káwọn máa àwọn tó lè láwọn fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation náà lélẹ̀. Ibo ló wà lọ́wọ́ wa? À ń gbìyànjú ni o. Àwọn tó ń búra wọn yìí, àwọn tó lè láwọn fẹ́ gba Yorùbá nation nìyẹn. Àwọn náà a jọ ń ṣàlàyé ọ̀rọ̀. A jọ ń kó wálẹ̀ yàtọ̀ sáwọn tó jẹ́ pé wọ́n kàn máa fẹ́ jẹ́ kí nǹkan súyàn. Àwọn náà tún pẹ̀lú o. Ẹ má wò wá gẹ́gẹ́ bí wípé ẹ má wò wá ju bí bá ṣe ibi tá a tó lọ gan pàápàá. Ẹ bá ọ̀rọ̀ yìí sọ. Ẹni tó bá ń ṣerú nǹkan báyìí tí Yorùbá nation bá dé tó bá wá ń wá oyè kan, that means tó sí oyè yẹn ló ń target láti ilẹ̀ nìyẹn. Ṣẹ́ni tí ò wá joyè tí ò jẹ nǹkan kan ṣóhun ló oníkálukú ṣe tó bá dé bus stop oníkálukú máa bọ́lẹ̀ ni. Ẹlòmíì ò gbójú jáde ó ná ìyáláyà owó. Kẹ wá sọ pé kẹ máa sọ fún yẹn pé ṣé ìtẹ́lẹ̀ fẹ́ gbà wá sílẹ̀ lélẹ̀. Torí pé a ti ń sọ̀rọ̀ yẹn ń sìn téèyàn kan bá wá wà tó jẹ́ pé kò mọ̀rọ̀ sọ, nǹkan tó ti bàjẹ́ òun ò kí ẹ̀ wípé kóun fọ gbogbo everything kó sọ̀rọ̀ 100 kó jẹ́ pé 99 ní irọ́ burúkú ń bẹ̀ tán tún máa ṣẹ́ èpè. Àwọn kan wà mo gbèdì mo fìdí rìn wọ́n mọ́lẹ̀ gan, mi ò gbèdì fún wọn, mo fìdí rìn. Irú àwọn èèyàn bẹ́ẹ̀ ọ̀nà èèyàn oríṣiríṣi ló wà láyé, ìyẹn tún dọjọ́ mi. Torí ẹ̀ mo sọ fún yín brother mi àti sister mi, ẹ má jẹ́ ká wò bẹ́ẹ̀ o. Àwọn tó láwọn fẹ́ gbà wá sílẹ̀, àwọn wo ibo ló wà lọ́wọ́ wa? Tá là wá? No, àánú ni gbogbo wa rí gbà pẹ̀lú nǹkan kéékèèké téèyàn ń ṣe. Ẹ má fojú gbé a kàn ń sọ, à ń gbìyànjú ni. À ń gbìyànjú lákàn ti ìgbìyànjú òun làwa ń ṣe. Àwa là ń ṣe paperwork. Àwa là ń travel káàkiri. Ètò ń travel wà nínú wa, but ṣé gbogbo wa ẹ wò ẹ jẹ́ ká ṣe kinní jàre. Tí nǹkan kan bá ṣẹlẹ̀ yẹn, àwọn tó lè fẹ́ gbà wá sílẹ̀ eléyìí tó bá jẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè nìsín. Bàbá Akíntóyè wá bọ́ta tó ń jà. Mo ẹni tí ò ṣe bàbá Akíntóyè, especially àwọn kan tó jẹ́ pé kàn wá traffic. wọ́n ṣàkàn wá tó bá máa bàjẹ́ kó bàjẹ́ tí ò bá dẹ̀ da kó da tó bá máa da kó da tí ò bá da àwọn ti mú nǹkan mi táwọn wọ́n ní nǹkan mi tán fẹ́ sọ lórí ayélujára kó àwọn ṣáà máa ṣe bísínẹ́sì wọn lọ lórí ayélujára ní kí ló kan àwọn ń bẹ̀ ṣáwọn yẹn lè máa ṣe pé ẹ̀yin tẹ̀lé fẹ́ gbà wá jáde lè bá jẹ́ bàbá Akíntóyè bó bá jẹ́ ṣe Sunday Igboho ní í sìn bọ̀ pé àwọn nínú gbogbo àwa sọ̀rọ̀sọ̀rọ̀ bóyá lè rí 2% tó jẹ́ pé ó ń ṣe kínní pẹ̀lú bẹ̀rù Ọlọ́run ṣe mọ̀ pé kékeré ni wá ní kéèyàn máa mọ̀ wá owó bó má ti torí owó tó ń wá kó fi bá tọmọlàkejì ẹ nǹkan tí ò ṣẹlẹ̀ nǹkan tó ẹ̀fà rí kò kọ̀ntínú lọ́wọ́ pé má wọ̀ọ́rì ṣèbó ó lọ ṣe program fẹ́ yẹn má wọ̀ọ́rì èmi lọkọ ìyá gbogbo wọn máa bring wọn down ó ń ṣọlọ́run náà ó ń ṣọlọ́run. náà mo kí wa lẹ́ẹ̀kan sí pa kó ojú ọjọ́ ṣe rí mo kẹ́yìn ìyá mo kí bàbá mo kí ẹ̀gbọ́n mo kí àbúrò èmi ọmọ yín náà ni. adájú wájú wa ṣe fẹ́ lọ ọlọ́run àgbàdo àwọn bíbá la máa dá ètò dúró sí lọ́jọ́ títí òní. mo kí ẹ̀yin bàbá àti ẹ̀yin ìyá aṣá ń gbé mi ṣá aṣá ń dá tọ́mì ẹ ṣáà ní ká dá tọ́mì ká tá bá ti dé wọ́n ní ọ̀pọ̀lọ́ ní tá bá dé bí ìrù tàbí kán fò ẹ ti sọ bẹ́ẹ̀ à ń dá tọ́mì à ń gbé tọ́mì ọlọ́run àgbàdo àwa ọlọ́run á ṣe dáadáa fún wa ẹ ṣé gan ni ẹ bá wa ṣí ètò ẹ bá wa láìkẹ ẹ bá wa fi kọ́mẹ̀ntì yìí sílẹ̀ God bless you bye for now one love.
You're welcome. Kindly subscribe to YouTube channel and follow on Facebook page at Dr. Zabby's Talk Show.